Peace to the world. We are in the new Black Wall Street. Yes, I said new Black Wall Street inside of Star Status, which is a store that represents athletics and inner me.
Welcome to Star Status store. It is the home of inner me and athletics. Inner me is all about crystals, crystal jewelry. We customize the jewelry in the store if you want us to. We have bracelets, earrings, necklaces, and then with athletics, we have the world's first conscious sportswear brand.
Created sports logos and put it on sports apparel. So you can see right here, we have Mansa Musa on the basketball shorts. We also have the ancient Egyptian Kemetic Herus on football jersey, tackle twill, captain's tag, heavyweight mesh, all quality material, authentic sports apparel. And y'all come see us at the new Black Wall Street Star Status store on Choctaw Street. Peace.
Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a real floater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father the isfits, martyr the misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres or acres get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts. Okay.
Always, it has been found phenomenal changes happen in human consciousness.
Captured in Pakistan this week shows flooding so severe the only way out for some is by air. Others have turned to more creative solutions like this rescue operation using a bed frame tied to a zip line. Earlier this summer, Yellowstone National Park was ravaged by flood water. In Europe, the continent has experienced record-breaking heat, killing thousands. In China, the world's third longest river is drying up, revealing ancient statues. That's in addition to wildfires, which in California are now burning year-round.
Yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, family. That right there is a commercial for our upcoming September 15th lecture with none other than the master teacher, the / master student, our good brother, ALKEBULAN the Dawn, ALKEBULAN44, all right, who will be one of our special guests that will be pulling up tonight, all right, tonight. He will be in the building. So with that being said, love and light, peace to the family. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. Third Eye Thursdays. Greetings to everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. it's an early show. You know what I mean? I'm sure y'all not even used to that. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. So we here and we are going to be chopping it up. Like I said, I got my brother ALKEBULAN in the building. Before we even do that, let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's see who is in the building today so we could get this show started. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What is that song called? That's the Facts Anthem. You know what I'm talking about? That's the Facts Anthem. Source Guard on the hook. Brother Blue Pill, Survey, and your good brother Red Pillar. We doing the damn thing. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's the Facts Anthem. We're gonna be opening up the show with that throughout our time. All right. So the 804. Shout out to the 804. Salute. Salute. You know what I mean? Let's do this roll call. Where y'all at? All right. We got the NO in the building by way of the ATL. Shout out to Athletics. See, you see the drippery, right? You see the Drippington? Yeah, we tap it in. All right. Charlotte in the building, Massachusetts. All right. Charlotte in the building, New Jersey in the building. See Chicago in the building. Shout out to Chicago. Richmond in the, where's Buckingham Palace at? And where you niggas from across the pond? Is it too, y'all too busy drinking tea and crying and what? Wait, where the road man from across the pond? I need y'all to pull up. You know what I'm talking about? Shit in it. Shout out to all of my UK massive and whatnot. I need y'all in here tonight. Henderson, Nevada, PG, Clearwater, Bethlehem, PA, Gainesville, Georgia. I see you. We see you. You know what I'm talking about? Salute. Massachusetts. Salute to you too. Salute to Massachusetts. All right. Cosmos is up in here. Cosmos, I see you. West Filthy is in here. All right. Pond the River. Pond the River. Yeah. That hat is fire. I'm glad you said that. You can find this at themark125.com. That's the website. That's our new site right there. It's on the ticker. Go and get the hat with the matching book bag. Hold on. This shit come with It's not just the hat, it's the bag too. You know what I mean? You want to step the right way. You know what I'm talking about? You want to really step. This is real leather too, by the way. Yeah. Ancient Homage is the name of the line. Salute to them. Salute to Noble Bridge. Salute to Paradise in Hell. Salute to Ancient Homage. Salute to Athletics. You feel me? Salute to AA Rashid Art. Salute to this brother right here too. We got another fire. Hold on, let me take my background off so y'all can really see this. Give me 1 minute, let me see something. Ooh. This joint right here is fire. Look at the back, right? Stitched embroidery. I got the jump off on the 360 is the name of it, the embroidery on the front. You feel me? Yeah, with that nice little satin inside. It's a lot of Dripperton. They brought the god of drip back in the business. I mean, the god of the dripping thing is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Golden Enlightenment. You see how that's spelled? Golden Enlightenment. The god who designed this, he was like, fuck spelling that shit in English. I don't acknowledge English. We don't fuck with the English. You know what I mean? You know, we ain't out here trying to save the queen. We spelling it and we gonna make it phonetically match our frequency. Gonna rename shit and spell it the way that we want to. That's how you take your power back. And then you put it on some drip and whatnot. That's how you consecrate it. So that's what we doing. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we doing. Yeah, the Mark125.com. That's gonna be the click and order Super Bowl, and we're gonna build a brick and mortar Supermall as well. But for right now, we in the cosmos. We in the we in the cyberspace. Come and shop with us. You know what I'm talking about? Who shopping? Who shopping? You feel me? Who shopping? So yeah, man. Let's get this thing going. You feel me? I don't have any intentions of wasting anybody's time. So let's go ahead and let's bring in the guest for this evening so we can have a high level dissertation nonetheless. You know what I'm talking about? So without any further ado, I want to open up the line for my brother and your brother and our brother. You know what I mean? The Messiah, the messianic one, right? The one, the prophetic one, who's been tapping in real heavy and whatnot. And we're gonna get to that when we talk about these receipts with sweet techniques and shit like that. So without any further ado, I want to open up the floor and bring in our good brother ALKEBULAN44. Peace. I don't got my sound effects.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Peace to the gods, peace to the family. You know, I got my ancient homage on too. So shout out to them.
Oh,
As
yeah,
well.
yeah, there you go.
You know, man. You know, but you know, obviously today, you know, it's Thursday. It's a you know, very important day. Very symbolic day. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, we're gonna talk about it. You know, for those who follow me, you know, of course, I'm always playing out in real time, you know, the cosmic prophecy in reference to an algorithm that'll give our people a gauge to be able to see, you know, what's happening in real time. It's almost like a silver lining or a thread that runs through everything in existence. But if you follow this thread in reference to the algorithm, that'll give you the basis of basically how you are tied directly into this mythology in reference to the cosmic story playing out in real time.
In real time.
You know, so I do that for my people because, again, this day being a very important day, it basically symbolizes, you know, an aspect that is not only cosmic, but also physical as well in reference to real world events, you know, so we'll talk about it. And yeah, my brother, you know, we got a lot going on. Of course, you know, we got the lecture going on September 15th that, you know, we're excited about. A lot of information is going to be delivered that day. You know, so, you know, we're going to really make some things happen. Again, today is a very monumental day for our people specifically. You know, we grew up always looking at the queen, you know, as some sort of, you know, some form of a, you know, status
authority and power.
Right, a person in power. So, you know, even down for our babies, you know, we got to begin to start re-educating them, you know, because this is a paradigm shift. You know what I'm saying? So when we start to demonstrate ourselves in real time, we got to begin to feed the babies the true image of what a queen looks like, the true image of what a king looks like, you know, and you know, we all have a surface level, you know, intel in reference to what the queen really represents. You know, we all came up on the YouTube videos and, you know, all of these things in reference to them being part of a, you know, a draconian reptilian yeah, type of energy. But, you know, that's what we're dealing with today. So we're gonna talk about it.
Word, definitely, my brother. You know, like you mentioned a minute ago, like all we know, especially my generation, you know, I was born in the 70s, and when I was born, there was already a queen on the throne, allegedly, you know, and she was old back then. You know what I'm talking about? She looked the same back then in the 70s that she do right. I don't remember anything else but this old lady who, you know, in front of the camera was portrayed, you know, in one light, but behind the scenes or behind the curtain, it was a whole nother situation. And as long as I've been a student of the arcane knowledge, the hidden knowledge, and what people may deem as the occult or the dark knowledge, man, nothing ever surprises me. The lengths of, you know, the lengths that these people have gone to consolidate their quote unquote illegitimate claims. to the throne.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
for those of us that may not be familiar, we're not going to go over it in its entirety on this show. However, the information is available. KTL University, I believe the first When in Rome that we did, Nova Roma, we got into the monarchy and the falsehoods of the monarchy and why that's not the true monarchy and why that was a complete, usurping of the throne. It was false. It was like the emperor with no clothes. And we always talk about burning down Babylon and Babylon must burn. And when the series that me and Blue just did, When in Rome, this is the epilogue of it, right? Because once the crown falls, then the church is soon to follow. This is the epilogue of a demonstration that was put forth last month when Pope Pablo came and scorched them and whatnot. And now we have a king that's on the throne, allegedly, right? According to whoever's going to accept him, whoever's going to kiss the ring, and like they had in Game of Thrones, whoever bends at the knee, right, and recognizes the king of the north and whatnot, then you his subject, right? So as long as I've been living, all I remember is one of the main tenets of what we call this journey was to get underneath the thumb of the reptilians, or to get underneath the fucking hold of the people who own our quote unquote bonds and our certificates. And it always pointed to her. There's never been a time where she wasn't in the room when shit was getting funky around the world since I've been born. I could talk about what happened in the 1700s, and that was the other incarnation of me. I'm talking about the avatar that you see right now. Every single time something was going on a global affair, this lady's name was mentioned as having a part to play. Her fingerprints were always on the murder scene. You know what I'm talking about? She has been personally responsible for atrocities that my fingers cannot count. There's groups of children in Canada of an indigenous background on reservations who went to these quote unquote schools, or these border schools, or these torture schools that they basically were sending these children to, and they were visited by Queen Elizabeth on occasions. And she went to have lunch with them and came back without them. They happened to be the lunch. I wish I had my bombs. It would be so dramatic with sound effects. It's the time whenever you don't have your shit, that's when all of the bomb-worthy news starts coming out. But listen, there was a warrant out for this lady that some of y'all niggas is calling your grandmama, right? When I was in Jamaican households, her picture was on the wall next to Jesus. Go check on your muma. If you from a Jamaican background, go check on your muma and your nanny and whatnot, because they definitely going through it right now. You feel me? As much as they want to act like they not, they worship that lady, and she was a symbol of motherhood to generations of melanin people. She was mama to niggas, you know what I mean? And for the ones who did not bow at the knee and would not accept that as a reality, salute to y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's something in my spirit that tells me she was the face of this whole thing that we call the empire. There is no other face to the empire after her. Talking about King Charles, he's not the face of the empire. He's a Scorpio that happens to be born on my birthday, right? November the 14th. He is now the Scorpion King, right? So there's a Scorpion King in Europe, and there's a Scorpion president in America, because Joe Biden was born November the 20th, family. He is a Scorpion as well, although he is a Scorpion. He's a very sneaky, slick, demonic, uncontrolled, unmastered Scorpion. He's more like the lizard type of the Scorpion. He won't be considered the eagle. And, Prince Charles is the same. So you got King Charles, Prince Andrews, Harry, and a bunch of those other weirdos and whatnot. They're not going to keep this shit together. How about that? Now that the face of, because people are like, she been dead. Okay, whatever. First of all, show me a receipt, right? Because this is about receipts with sweet techniques. Over here, we don't just do hearsay. Because back in the Inquisition, hearsay, get your ass burnt at the stake. We don't do download. We do downloads, but you got to show me some proof. Yeah, there's a lot of clones floating around and whatnot. Don't just show me the shape of her ear and be like, that wasn't her. Why did they announce it today, though?
Right.
It doesn't matter. She could have been dead 100 years ago. The fact that it's announced today, the fact that they picked this day out of any day in the motherfucking calendar is significant. So why today? Why did they decide to do it right before the Vatican is calling in all of their assets, all of their liquid assets? They put out a report last week that was like, yo, we calling in all of our bonds. We calling in our assets. And now, and if people don't understand the relationship between the church and the motherfucking crown, then you should you should be a little, lock in, get in class. Because that's not our job, is not to basically catch you up when it's almost it's assumed by us that y'all are students, and you've been picking this information up, if not from over here, then from one of these channels or platforms that you plugged into.
Right. And I want to say too, it's interesting because last year, November 4th, right, I put up a post. And there was an article on that same day that came out in reference to Rick Ross. Now he dropped a cover art with the gloves on and with his hands covering his face, and everybody was clowning him about the cover, but they kept referencing Queen Elizabeth, that he looked like Queen Elizabeth. And I find that interesting because that day will be considered the beginning of the reign of Cepheus, the Ethiopian king. So this whole concept, and again, like Red said, people are speaking about that the queen has been dead, but that's irrelevant. She was announced that she was dead today for a specific reason. And I also find it interesting too that today is September 8th. We have a lunar eclipse that's taking place November 8th, the same day as the election this year, right? So, it's interesting as well, because when you look at it, there was an article that came out too last year in reference to King Tut, who ruled the 18th dynasty. Now, for those who again follow me, I'm always throwing out numbers in reference to the algorithm. And the number that's playing out in reference to camouflage deals with the 99. Of course, 9 + 9 = 18, which was the same, which was the dynasty that King Tut ruled. So there was an article that came out last month about the guy who went into King Tut's tomb.
Was that Carter?
Carter, right.
Carter, right.
Yeah, that stole all the goods. And we should all know, at this time that, that's been a thing. But, there was an article actually coming out speaking about it last month. So that's no coincidence. So again, this is all tied into a very cosmic reference. And when we're speaking about King Tut and that article coming back around, we're also rolling in the concept of assets, because this is signaling again a cosmic event in reference to Cepheus, the Ethiopian king. And for those who don't know, by 2050, Cepheus, which is a constellation, one of the 7 that circle around the North Star, or the North Pole rather, is supposed to take the place of Polaris, the bear, at the North Star. And the Mayans will speak about this, the Olmecs will speak about this, but this is the time basically where the melanated people take the seat back at the throne, and the planet is supposed to be a completely black planet at that time. So, again, when we're talking about assets, we're talking about articles in reference to King Tut. We're talking about Rick Ross dropping an article November 4th that I posted November 4th of last year, and him covering the face that ties directly into the lunar eclipse, which is going to show the face of the new kingdom November 8th, which is the same day of the election and the same day as the lunar eclipse. So again, all this runs concurrent because it's the signaling of the original people taking a seat back on the throne. Now, this is just the beginning. Like we haven't really even seen nothing yet. And it's no coincidence of him to announce, that the queen has died after what took place with the Pope, that Pope Pablo covered already. But, this is why these lectures that we have are so important, because now it's important for us to see ourselves in the story that's playing out. So if we see articles coming out with King Tut, and then we see the Queen passing away, and then we're putting together certain dates, we're looking at this like, okay, so where's our place in this role? How can we benefit in this? Well,
Right.
again, look at articles that are coming out in reference to the sun, you know, solar flares taking off, the sun is getting hotter, things of that nature. This goes back into the body. And with the lectures that me and Red did pre-summer, 3 lectures that we did, the idea was to get the people educated on how to orientate themselves, you know, in reference to the information that was coming through via the sun.
Right.
Did. Same thing that we're gonna do September 15th, because events are always happening cosmically, but if we can't internalize what's playing out in real time in reference to things like this happening, then we can never put ourselves into position and not only see the story playing out, but benefit from the cosmic information that's coming through. So that's what
Right.
September be about. We'll tell our people specifically, you know, ways on how we can engage with the cosmic information coming through, but also too how to insert yourself into the mythology and also benefit from it. So, you know, like I've always said in reference to the algorithm I play out, in reference to even down to the God Body Challenge, how I run them concurrent with cosmic events, which the God Body Challenge again will be hosted September 19th. It's all tethered to a reward system. So as long as we live out a self-fulfilling prophecy, but first understanding the cosmic story that's playing out, then there's a reward on the other end, because we're doing the due diligence of the work that our ancestors have always laid out for us. So, you
Right.
know, we'll be talking about time references, how to calculate certain numbers and see things play out before they play out. So that way we can, again, embed ourselves into the story and really understand what's playing out, you know, in real time. So again, drawing back to Rick Ross, he's tied into the idea of the concept with the lunar eclipse, because his hands is covering his face. But when you
Right.
remove hands and you remove the eclipse, so that again on the same day, November 8th, is when the election takes place. But that's all just a representation of the original people taking their seat back on the throne.
So this right here, y'all, is a reference, the article that I was referencing a minute ago. This is very significant for anybody that understands, any of my brothers and sisters who do private trust, and you know, you're on that side of things. You know what you're looking at, right? So all movable assets of Holy See to be managed by IOR. Pope Francis issues a brief. This was last week. This was this was either Friday that they put this out, or they put this out over the weekend. Pope Francis issues a brief rescript to clarify that the Institute for the Works of Religion has exclusive competence for managing all of the Holy See's movable and liquid assets, ordering Holy See dignitaries and entities to transfer all financial assets to the IOR, right? The Institute for Worlds of Religion, commonly known as the Vatican Bank, shall have exclusive competence over asset management and shall oversee. What is that talking about, right? That means that either the Pope is on his way out, right? Or they're beginning to consolidate on their properties, right? So here it goes. November the 14th, 1948, he's King Charles III, right? King Charles III. You know, look at him. He's a goofy ass king, by the way, but whatever. And then over here, oh no, yeah. Of course, Joe Biden. I thought I was gonna pull up Joe Biden. Joe Biden is November the oops, skirt, skirt. Shout out to Kobe.
Kobe, yeah.
Skirt. Right? So this makes this right here that we'll be doing on 9/11 even more sacred, even more significant, even more litty, right? Because now we got purpose and intention to fucking spirit cook. And I'm tired. Look, I'm tired of the fact that people be out here, you know, we ain't playing a victim role. Like I said, this is the great reset. The motherfucking clock has been reset. You know what I mean? We smoking on queen packs right now. It's a new op pack in the air, my nigga. It's called a London pound cake. Come and get you some. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we putting packs in the air. You feel me? That's a fucking op, right? So, you know, if you got a teenager and they caught up in drill culture, go tell them to smoke one of these packs. Cause it's real like that. You feel me? So on top of this mountain, we're gonna have the queen pack, and that shit gonna be up in the air, and we going in. If you got a weak heart, don't come on that mountain on 9/11. If you apologetic and you not unapologetic, you gonna get nervous because white people do be up there, and you're gonna shrink. If you don't like feeling uncomfortable around them, don't come. Cause we finna turn the energy up on that mountain on 9/11. You know what I mean? Sidebar, I will be debuting our new packs. We have some new flowers in the game. Delta 44. Delta 88, you know what I'm talking about? That scorpion is coming. Yeah, we're gonna mix that in with that motherfucking London pound cake, and we smoking that part. You know what I'm talking about? And Kobe gonna cross her over. Skirt. You know what I mean? That's for all of the Africans that they done disrespected. That's for the motherfucking Jamaicans that they put their foot on. That's for everybody in the Caribbean who had to suffer. That's for when I was in St. Croix and they hit me with a ruler inside a Catholic school for just asking questions. All of that fuckery. Everywhere, damn near, where our people are being prostituted and they're being pillaged for their resources, it's either one or two things. It's the motherfucking dirty ass crown, or it's the Roman Catholic Church over there, you know, suppressing our people. And you niggas need to wake the fuck up and stop playing these games. You know what I mean? And if your peoples have a hand in that, then you already know. You just as guilty if you don't do nothing about it, or if you don't back out of that shit. But don't be a willing participant into this quote unquote Babylonian Roman Empire. When in Rome, be a Carthaginian, because this shit falling down and you're gonna fall with it. If all of you Meghan Markle ass niggas out there trying to mix and mingle with the throne and whatnot, you just as guilty as them. You're just as guilty as them. So how much can the universe show you? How much can your universe show you to help snap you out of this fucking spell and this stupor that they have our people under, to show you that this shit is done with?
And see,
this shit is done with.
Facts. And again, we can get caught up in the drama, you know, in reference to what's taking place. But like I said, a lot of our people, you know, they see it, but they don't know exactly what to do next. But at the same time, we all say that we're naturally tethered to the universe or tethered to the cosmos. You know, we receive downloads. So what type of downloads are we getting in reference to the next moves to make when you see a large impact of something this grand happen? You know,
Right.
so that's why I speak in reference to the sun a lot, because it's literally in reference to how we orientate the body in a certain way. More specifically, you know, melanated people, we got to start taking charge. Again, this algorithm represents camouflage, but more specifically, it's self-discipline through what you're putting in your body, actually going and physically working out, because the melanin granules in the body are dielectric, what you call dielectric resonant antennas. So they're granules that act like dipoles, but if they're out of coherence, and then on top of that, the sun is heating up, then, you know, there's going to be a lot of irrational behavior that takes place because the melanin itself is inactive. But once you begin to take care of the body and become in coherence with the information that's coming through in reference to the solar flares and things of that nature, then you will be able to get the downloads, the insight, the intuition in reference to what moves to make. But that won't ever happen if we still continue to live a Western European style of living in reference to what we eat and things of that nature. So again, when we see, you know, the Queen Elizabeth, you know, make transition on a certain day, please take heed, you know, that has everything to do with us, but it's all in reference to, you know, the next moves that we are supposed to take, you know.
Oh,
so
definitely. You know, we draw power from every angle, you know, that we see fit. And this situation that we see right now is a situation that's going to, a lot of power will be drawn from this. and more people, in my humble opinion, will wake up than fall asleep as a result of this. But the propaganda campaign around the world is going to be super strong, and only the sheep will be fleeced. You know what I mean? Those who are, you don't need me or ALKEBULAN to tell you that this empire that they're going to be praising through mainstream media is one of the most diabolical empires to ever exist in our time, right? Like I said, when I was born, that empire was empiring. When I was born, they already had blood on their hands. When I was born, they had already sunken their fangs into the necks of the continent, Canada. They already did their damage over here, right? They were working the Indians and whatnot. Did you ever see that movie? There's a movie on Netflix called RRR. Did you see that? It's like a Bollywood movie.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna check it.
Yeah, and it kind of like it's a timepiece. It's an action movie, but they're in India when the British were ruling them, and they showed how heavy-handed they were towards the indigenous Indians, the Dravidians and whatnot. The British Empire, they were cruel over there in India. When they were over in China, cruel, heartless. Wherever the colonial empire, wherever the monarchy had planted their flags and whatever, the way that they suppressed the natives was nothing short of an atrocity.
Atrocity, right.
Megan refused to go to her bedside. Yeah, and y'all ready to?
Yeah, see that. Yeah, and again, I mean, in the biggest, because what we got coming out September 16th, don't we got the movie The Woman King?
Yes, we do. The Woman King is on its way with Viola Davis, right in time to show Queen Nzinga, right?
Yeah, deliver her discernment. So that's again another factor in noticing certain events that are taking place by way of movies. So Red just referenced the movie that I'm gonna go check out myself. But at the same time, like I said, the symbology is there. So we play a
and also the symbology of Big Mama, the motif of the black woman being restored, the motif of Isis or Set being restored to her rightful throne with the Woman King, and then with Black Panther, right, where it's rumored that the sister or the Black Panther will be a woman. You know what I'm saying? The King of Wakanda will be a woman in part 2. So we're beginning to see the false queen removed by way of her by way of her demise. Whether she died 1,000 years ago, like people are saying, we are going to identify, the fact that it's public information right now, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So what it indicates.
Yeah, and all this is taking place during Virgo. Because I put up an article too where it said the sun is, the sunspot is so big and the sun
acting up.
That shit is vibrating at a whole nother rate. But then it referenced that it sent a solar flare over to Venus. So a lot of these motifs in reference to women and this algorithm again specifically dealing with camouflage. I made a point to say when I initially posted it that, kidnapping was going to be a trend, in no less than 48 hours, all type of articles start rolling out in reference to kidnapping women.
It went viral, right? I put a post up and it went viral. It went stupid. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, another thing that somebody pointed out is they're going to introduce Namor in the Black Panther movie, and that's dealing with Atlantis. But everywhere around the world right now is flooding, right? So the waters are rising, Aquarian age, the waters of Anu, the waters are up, the tides are rising and things of that nature. And there's also the water is subsiding as well. Like I showed in the clip, ancient statues and ancient figurines and things of that nature are beginning to emerge from lakes and rivers and whatnot. They were drying as a result of the drought. So in some places they're heavy in drought, but in other places it's full flood season. You feel me?
Right. and this is the picture, family, that I was talking about in reference to Rick Ross. If y'all remember this image right here, this was he was
Right.
out for this. You know what I'm saying? But you notice the caption. I don't know if you, the family could read that, but I put a caption under there:
Illuminated.
"Illuminated in Atlantis."
I
So
like that.
So again, you know, we're talking about the reemergence of an ancient civilization, and again, that information is being stimulated, you know, within us and brought to the surface. So November 8th is going to be a very important day. Like I said, that's the same day as the election and the same day, you know, as the lunar eclipse, you know, takes off. You know, so everything is very symbolic. So it's irrelevant again in reference to when she died. There's a reason why they announced it specifically after, you know, what happened with the Pope. You know, they announced her death today on September 8th, you know. So
Factory.
yeah, so there's a lot of Scorpio energy as well. King Charles, Scorpio, Joe Biden, Scorpio, you know, the election, the lunar eclipse, Scorpio season, you know,
Right. And another thing,
a lot of Scorpio.
through cinema, right, to emboss it in the subconscious minds of the people through cinema, the Scorpion King was heavily referenced in the movie Nope by Jordan
Oh, Jordan Peele, yeah.
Peele. I'm about to say Jordan Maxwell. The movie from Jordan Peele, Nope, about UFOs, right, was referencing the Scorpion King, the movie with The Rock. So theoretically, Charles is the Scorpion King over there in the U. He became the Scorpion King today on 9/8, right? And then the last video that I saw of Queen Elizabeth, whether that's her clone or whatever, you know what I mean? She was Boris Johnson resigned, and she was there to basically usher in the new prime minister, right, of the empire. This was the other day, right? So if it's not her, if it was her, whatever the fact that they rolled out the clone, right? They can't do it ever again. God did, right? So it's the last fucking hoorah. So whatever their last hoorah was, that they sat back in the fucking room and planned, we're gonna let her last appearance be the fucking ushering in of this lady who's now the new this dude Boris steps down, and now they put this woman in charge. So I'm just throwing that out there to say, because when I saw the video, I was like, damn, she ain't dead yet. You know what I mean? I was like, they getting good with their CGI, one. Two, because this video, it didn't look, you know how Joe Biden should be looking wild shaky, like it don't look right. It's like, that's not Joe. That's not the same Joe that Kamala was congratulating.
Yeah.
But when I saw the Queen the other day, she looked like she looked like Betty White, yes. She looked very humble, and you know, she had a fucking Clarks on, you know what I'm saying, or her British Knights, whatever her recommended shoe was of the day, whoever's sponsoring her. And I'm like, damn, she not dead yet. Like they ramping up the holograms. Is this bitch gonna be in meta? Is she gonna be in a metaverse or something? Like they holding on for what?
Yeah. No, they getting ill with the graphics, but like we all know,
ill with the graphics.
They do a lot with the you know, with the holographic, you know, technology. I mean, that's we all know been around for centuries, decades. Let's just say decades, and be on the safe side. But yeah, you know, it is what it is, family. You know, there's a lot taking place, a lot going on, and you know, we're going to do our due diligence to deliver the information as much as possible to let the family know, you know, what's going on, not only in the physical reality, but also cosmically, you know, so that we can be participants, you know, of the experiences that are taking place. So, you know, it's just one of those events, you know, that we got to look at and
Right.
yeah, you know, take heed to it, you know?
Right. Well, you know the name of our upcoming class. Let me throw that on the thing again, right? The name of our upcoming class is, that's not it. Receipts with a Sweet Technique, right? And the reason why we could name a class like this and be very confident and stand on it is because when you have receipts, right, your teaching or the value of your teaching or the value of the teacher goes through the roof, right? Because there's a lot of, this is a crowded stage in some situations where there's a lot of people vying for the attention of the people from a professional scholastic standpoint, not just to get the people's attention by being a fucking court jester, but to be taken serious by serious people, right? I value my student body. I value the KT aliens out there. I value the brothers and sisters who tap into this information on this platform, on Black Magic, and on other places that I frequent. I value the people, right? And I value their minds and whatnot. And the teacher is only as sharp as the students, in my humble opinion. If you're on a platform where you're not being challenged, where the student body is not scholastic, you're gonna slip up because you're gonna get comfortable, and then you'll start talking about what color underwear is Jada Pinkett wearing today. You know, that's when you start getting into gossip and just mundane shit because your audience just wants peanuts, and now you become part of the peanut gallery. But over here, we pride ourselves at KTL University for, you know, sticking to quality of membership and bringing you people who are on point with their information. And I want to know from you, as a result of the fact that we're going to talk about prophecy, and we're going to talk about being able to be a soothsayer, and we're going to talk about being able to tap into the universe to hear things, and also being a receiver to receive the information as it comes to you, and trusting the source that you're getting it from. I would like to know, and I would love for you to explain to our people, you know, I want to know how you know, how do you see yourself delivering your information? You dig what I'm saying? And I also want to know from a perspective of foresight, like where do you see yourself in probably like the next 4 to 5 years, you know, just based off of how you're teaching?
I mean, you know, for those who follow me, you know, I come from a you know, a very scientific perspective, you know,
Yes.
and because I feel like our people really gotta understand the mechanics of the physical reality that we exist in. You know, a lot of us, we get caught up into, you know, cosmic stories. We get caught up into historical facts in reference to whether it's the Dogons, whether it's, you know, Kemet. Me personally, I love to demonstrate our ancestors' intellectual property, you know, in real time, and understanding that we are these individuals that had these minds and these brains that built pyramids, that built huge monuments that are out test, you know, the time. So, you know, with me, I'm personally developing a whole different aesthetic in reference to consciousness.
Right.
You know, what I do is completely different. You know what I'm saying? And even the type of lexicon that I come with, you know, has a very you know, grounded, it has a unique vibe to it, because it's words that people may not be familiar with, but it's the science that corresponds to what the ancestors were studying. Now, of
Right.
course, we live in Western, you know, society, so a lot of the words, a lot of the verbiage that I'm speaking is coming from that diatribe. But at the end of the day, it was the same sciences that your ancestors were into. So if I can give the people, you know, certain tools and techniques in order to manipulate their physical reality in real time, you
Right.
know, that in and of itself will qualify you as what you call yourself, a god or a goddess. So it's the science, you know, that we're missing, you know, in our community a lot of the times. And, you know, that's what we got to get back into. So, you know, I push the needle forward, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've carved my own space, you know, per se in the community to do just that, you know. So with me and seeing myself, you know, down the line, you know, I'm gonna take it to arenas, you know, collegiate colleges, and I'm not gonna all, you know, lay it all out here right now, but you know, there are a lot of ideas, and I've said it before, you know, and those who've been following me know I'm in school for mechatronic engineering. So that's dealing with robotics and artificial intelligence. You
Right.
know, I have a inkling in computer science, electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. So taking that left brain perspective and marrying it with the spiritual consciousness, community, that's going to allow me to demonstrate myself as a whole brain thinker, and then, you know, personify things in a physical manner, whether it's, you know, structures that we can physically touch and utilize to heal ourselves, or, you
Right.
know, heal communities, you know, etc. It's going to come from a very scientific perspective. But, you know, with me, I'm more so hands-on with it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to lay out and build things that'll help us, you know, in long term. And, you
So
know,
you want to get in your Stony, you saying that you want to get in your Tony Stark's bag and utilize all of this information that you're learning in school to become an inventor, to innovate.
that's a fact. Yeah,
That's beautiful. I'm gonna
that's a
have to create an R&D budget for you. I'm gonna have to talk to my team right now. We're gonna get a research and development budget for you, put you in a wet lab or something, and get the, because
no,
I'm big on inventions. I'm big on innovation, and I have a pet peeve about the fact that our people are not inventing. That's one of my
right,
that's a pet peeve of mine. That's something
right,
that will cause a rant. You feel me?
right. And
I'm like, where's the inventors? Where's the innovators? Why are we not competing on those levels? Because that is a telltale sign of complete intellect. Everybody talking that God shit, but you're not inventing anything. You still a customer. How the fuck do you justify saying all of that shit that you be saying on the internet about God? You niggas are not creating, you don't have no blueprints or no patents.
facts.
God works through innovation, right? God, if there were no innovators, we would still be in the fucking, and some of you niggas want to be in the jungles and whatnot, and it's all good. But if there were no innovators, if there were no inventors, you know, we wouldn't be where we're at. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be in the fourth industrial revolution. You know, as much as people are trying to kick and scream, to me, it's only from a place of lack, and it's only from a place of, you know, you removed yourself from the victory. You removed yourself from the triumphant part of what the industrial revolution means to people that are winning with that shit. Because you don't have a seat, you would rather sabotage it or act like it's not, that shit is not important. But you niggas was waiting for that iPhone 14 when it came out today. You was definitely like, you know what I mean? You was out there like, I think I might get that.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's mad important, and that's what I'm saying. All of our ancestors, the ones who we marvel over, who were building pyramids and had the capacity to see Sirius B with the naked eye, and, you know, were into light language. These individuals were engineers, they were scientists, you know. So I've done my due diligence, you know, to go into Western academia and learn the, you know, the mechanics and the technicalities when it comes to these things, so I can have
Right,
a hands-on experience when it comes to consciousness. And that's what we're lacking. You know what I'm saying? We can get deep and talk saucy all day on camera, but at the end of the day, what are we doing behind the scenes in reference to building things that are going to outlive, you know, our grandkids? You know what I'm saying? So, you
right,
know, my whole idea is to really begin to also, you know, give those individuals who are really delivering the information their flowers in due time. Like, you know, we don't have, like Red said, you know, a couple days ago, we don't have monuments of Dr. Sabi up. We don't have, you know, monuments of you know,
Dr. Ben, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Africa, Dr. Clark, Dr.
uh,
Ivan Van Sertima, you know, just the doctors. You know what I mean? For people to get all caught up and they you know, once again, they want to apologize for our greatness. Well, God damn it. Since you niggas understand with the power of having letters in your name, well, what about the doctors? You know what I mean? Let's start there. You know what I mean? There's a pantheon of doctors that we could emboss, we could lionize them. And there's machines right now. I sent the article to my Discord group. And I'm gonna Google it right now. God damn it. There's machines that make, there's statue making machines. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. I want to show y'all this. You feel me? So y'all know that this shit is really real, right?
And just before you continue, this is the reason why I'm speaking about free energy a lot. People hear me talk about dielectric acceleration, all of these terms in reference to free energy, because you're only getting a scope of what the brand of Alkebulan looks like from a very small vantage right now. But when we're talking about free energy, and then Red's getting ready to pull up something, building up bodies and monuments and things of that nature to commemorate our ancestors, like the Dr. Sabies, Professor Clark, like C. Freeman L., like all of these individuals.
Right.
The concept was to be literally build monuments in cities, and these monuments will be able to power a whole city block.
A whole city block, bro.
Free,
Are you serious? Imagine the babies waking up to see this.
Yeah, man.
Look at this, right? And I'm gonna just show you on the side, right? Let's stay on topic. Then I'm gonna pop my collar real quick.
No
right?
doubt.
What is the cost of making a statue? The price range of a custom sculpture starts at a stack and could go as high as 500,000, $500,000. Let's dig a little bit deeper into the various components that go into the cost of a custom sculpture, right? So look, sculpture making machine on Alibaba, right? Robotic statue making machine, 3D sculpture machine, right? Sculpture machine, right? These are coming out of China, so you know that you're gonna get your worth, you're gonna get your money's worth on it and whatnot, right? Let me show you what it looks like. Boom, right? They're making sculptures that you see in the museum off of these machines. You could make deities. You could put the orishas. You could make sculptures of the orishas. You could make sculptures of new deities that you create. You could make sculptures. You could make a blend. You could make a sculpture of a deity. A mixture of Cometian American gods and some Indian gods.
Now
you could body this shit, bro.
Right. And imagine again, we built an image of, say, Dr. Ben in reference to the statues, and we made it electrically conductive. It was a large crystal that sat in the block.
Right.
And, on the corner or set somewhere in the park in reference to a neighborhood. And that monument powered the whole city. And that'll be a way where we can not only commemorate the ancestors, but these individuals will be commemorated by way of statues that literally powered the city in reference to free energy.
Free energy, right?
So just imagine that. Like that's, but again, so many ideas, but like that's why I'm stressing the fact that our people got to start really getting innovative and pushing consciousness further. Like I said, removing ourselves from just social media and spilling information on there, really going behind the scenes in person and building, on the ground. So that way, like I said, we can really tangibly deal with things, that outlive us. So, that's what I'm all about. And that's why, like I said, with me, I speak about free energy a lot. That's all I'm, been speaking about. But I'm doing that for a reason, to begin to educate our people in a whole nother arena in reference to information. So that way we can do a deep dive into the science and really understand what individuals like Nikola Tesla was talking about, what individuals like the scientist Eric Dollar was talking about, all these individuals that deal with this science. So,
real quick, Alkebulan, just so people could see, that says US, right? $1,203, right? $1,700, $4,400, $1,200. Because if you have patience, you go and order with Alibaba. It's gonna take a while, but you know that bitch, when it hit, it's gonna hit. 5,600, heavy duty 3D stone, right? Be innovative. All you niggas can't have barbershops. You know what I'm talking about? All you niggas can't be rappers. Be innovators. Because what happens is the Europeans pop up on you niggas, when you're in your knuckle dragger state, and they pop up and they stun on you with machines like this. You sign your fucking life over to them, and now they own you. Because they had the wherewithal to play around. They're presently present while you chasing designer and all of that shit. all they're doing is they're tapping into technology. They're licensing certain type of proprieties, and then they're creating companies, and they're having you sign to them like, yo, I got a new digital distribution label. No, they went and bought, they white labeled, they went and bought some propriety of a platform. They could digitally distribute albums. They came up with a fucking name, and they came to young, impoverished, melanated, talented people, and they built they like Empire, the record label. They built their fucking brand off of your ignorance and your talent, your sweat equity, and your backs. So if we don't support the visionaries amongst us, if we don't support people that are piercing into the future, if we don't support, you're gonna lose those people that are out there. You're gonna lose the intellect. We're not gonna stick around for too long. I'm speaking about myself personally. You feel me? Because I feel like these communities don't value us. They don't have no plans for us whatsoever. If we were to drop dead to fucking day or tomorrow, our children will starve and they will be damn near prostitutes if you leave it up to the people, the way that they be doing us.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, no.
So at the end of the day, you know, they it's the same thing that they did with Sabi. When Sabi was alive, they wasn't doing him right. They wasn't really fucking with him like that. It's only when he died that everybody act like I wish I was, you know.
Or
no.
Yeah. And like you said, Europeans are building, they're in present time. They're looking towards the future. They got 50, 100, 150-year plans down. And they go into the pyramids. They look at the walls, and then they come out with $1 million projects. We go into the pyramids, take a couple pictures, and be satisfied. See, these individuals, again, are going into your sacred sites, looking at the walls, looking at the writings, and coming out with laptops, cell phones, projectors, computers, because they're studying black body radiation. They're studying plasma physics. You know what I'm saying? So when we look on the walls and we see them with big ass light bulbs, why in our mind doesn't a light bulb go off, you know, in our head and be like, okay, well, wait a minute. Like, these individuals were building lights. These individuals had helicopters and all that type of shit on the walls.
Right.
Let's get inventive. Let's figure out how we can. And you may not even, a lot of our people may not even know how to, you know, begin to build the first, you know, electric circuit and things of that nature. But it's all about just getting the equipment. And I'm speaking from experience. It's all about just ordering the necessary equipment and physically trying it, trial and error. Just try it.
Trial and error, research and development, R&D.
Yeah, you're challenging yourself, and the reward comes by way of when you finally put something together like a circuit. You're like, oh shit! Then I got this other idea that just popped in my mind. Now I know how to build a circuit. Now I'm getting into different references of information. Now I'm looking into this site. I'm looking into that.
So now when you're doing your meditations, you could speak to the Imhotep. You could channel to Hootie and whatnot, and they're gonna give you information that's not gonna be regular shit. It's gonna be they're gonna assist you in, you know, in figuring some things out. We have to be problem solvers. We have to tinker. We have to hack things. We have to trial and error this shit because we got 99 problems and everybody's running from them. You don't want to be a legend by solving the problems. I'm a problem solver. I get excited solving these problems because I know that it's going to be the problem solvers that are going to be the ones, you know, they're going to be mentioned. They're going to be immortalized and lionized. I'm not here on this planet to be forgotten. That's not my purpose. You know what I'm talking about? And it has nothing to do with fame, right? I'm not here to be forgotten. The same way that they did Nipsey, right? Yeah. Somebody brought that up. I saw what y'all did to Nipsey Hussle. Y'all not gonna do that to us.
Yeah.
And I saw what y'all did to Nipsey, and it was atrocious. And it was sad. Facts. You know what I mean? It was very sad.
It's all about legacy. So like Red said, it's not about fame. It's all about leaving a legacy behind. Because when we read these books, these ancient texts, and we read names like Imhotep, Akhenaten, and, you know, things of that nature, you know, in our minds, again, we should think like, well, damn, like, what can I do in 2022 that's going to stamp myself in one of these holy books 20,000 years from now. You know,
Right.
so the way we got to start thinking, we got to be more innovative, and we got to begin to push the needle further. My thing is, with social media, people get comfortable with this, you know, giving discernment on these platforms that we don't even own. And that
Right.
comfortability, it becomes stagnant. So, you know, we get a boost of you know, dopamine when we release a certain level of information. You know, and we get comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, speaking from experience, teaching for me was something uncomfortable years ago. But as I continue to do it, you know, I get comfortable in teaching. And again, it's just a learning lesson, but you got to go through the actual experience. If you want to get into engineering, sign up for school, you know, tap into a book. You don't even got to go to school per se. Just tap into the information, get books on it, watch YouTube videos, and learn how to do these things. We got a lot of financial gurus out there, you know, that are melanated. We got a lot of teachers who are teaching about the cosmos and things of that nature. We got a lot of people who are astrologers, who are readers, but who are the individuals that are out here really being innovative in reference to delivering technology that our people can use, you know,
Right.
for the good. So that's
Right. That's that real work. I want to know from one prophet to another, right? I always wrestle with this question sometimes. You know, sometimes I even sit back and I ask myself this question. So it's great that I have you here so I can ask you this question instead of talking to myself. You know, I want to know, in your opinion, do you believe that a prophet should withhold a certain amount of information that's revealed to him or her, or do they just let it all out? Like, what is your stance on that?
Nah, I think a lot of it, you know, I don't think all of it should be delivered. I think timing is everything. You know, I feel like you gotta keep our people on a timeline, because you know we have a short attention span. So
Right.
if you can deliver everything all at one time, a lot of our people won't get it, you know. So I feel like, you know, yeah, I don't feel like it should be, you know, delivered all at once. You know, I feel like too, you know, like you said, a lot of people don't appreciate the information, you know. So you know, they'll run with it, you know, and deliver it on their own and never give credence. You know, we have a lot of that in the community. So at the same time, calling ourselves prophets and really being ordained with that title, you know, it's a gift at the end of the day to be able
Yeah.
to really.
What's your definition of a prophet? I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but what's your definition of a prophet?
My definition of a prophet, you know, is somebody who can foresee, you know, through a physics called retrocausality. So we see the effect before the cause. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And we back engineer and then begin to do the research. So a lot of people receive downloads and they can't logically put it together at that moment, but that's what a prophet is. Our ancestors, they understood that, you know, once the physical body dropped, the magnetic field was still maintained. So they will put these individuals who are in these you know, electrically conductive tombs at higher altitudes, because that's where all the electrostatic energy is most
right.
dense. And these ancestors will still be present and can still interact in human affairs. So through prophetic experiences, the ancestors will impress on certain people's mind to deliver them a revelation. And you know, a lot of times, you know, we don't get it in real time. We can't logically put what we just received together. But that's when the real work comes in, is when the prophet then begins to back engineer and begin to actually do the research in reference to the revelation he received. So to me, again, a prophet is someone who sees the effect before the cause. And they may even deliver the prophecy to the people at that moment, but a lot of people aren't going to get it, because even the prophet sometimes doesn't understand what he's looking at. But that's when he does the research, and that's when the knowledge comes, you know, 360 degrees, and he recognizes, okay, I put the pieces together, and this is what it is. So, you know, that's what a prophet is to me.
Right. Yeah. Hit that like button. Show some pay some homage to the young prophet. You know what I mean? The brother ALKEBULAN44. You know what I'm talking about? It's embarrassing that we even have to say hit the like button like we some fucking 8-year-olds on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I
right.
can't wait till we get away from this shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's
facts.
embarrassing. Like it's really is, but it is what it is. It's the state of affairs in on the internet in 2022. You know what I mean? Like whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. But you know, I have another question that I want to ask you that deals with the people, right? Because they are the you know, they're the focal point. Why do you feel that our people need science to navigate this realm? Some people would be like, yo, all I need is some money. All I need is to learn how to shoot a gun. All I need is my, you know, my children, you know what I'm saying, and my people. Like, why do you feel that people need science to navigate the realm that we're in right now, brother?
Because science is spirituality. Science brings the logic to the reason. Science is what marries both worlds together, the physical and the spiritual world. So in a spiritual experience, if you can logically explain it scientifically, you get the full effect of the experience.
Mm.
But also too, with the science, you have the technique to know how to manipulate your reality at will, by, you know, qualifying something outside of you based on setting up a resonance with it by way of acknowledging it. So
Mm.
we see the
Okay.
sun, we don't know what we're looking at because we don't have the scientific intel to explain it. Thus, we can't get the full effect of what the sun really represents. If you look at the walls, all of our ancestors had suns on top of their head. They had suns, you know, in their hands. They had sun, you know, the suns were overlaid all over the walls, but our ancestors seen the sun completely contrary to how we see it. You see? But again, it's all in reference to understanding the science. These people were alchemists, they were scientists, they were engineers. And when
Right.
you marry both worlds together, you literally create a situation in the brain where it begins to hemisync. And that is deemed a whole brain thinker when you can think from both sides of the brain. So a lot of us, again, get really spiritual, but we don't have the scientific lens to be able to really understand at a focal point what we're looking at. But once we can do that, then that it literally give us the ability to add the technicality to the spirituality, and really begin to, you know, showcase our God and goddessship in real time. So science
Mm.
is the key. Science is the key.
When you were saying all of that, I couldn't help but to remind myself that, you know, the quote unquote the fact that you observe, right? Consciousness is about awareness, and you know, they prove that reality is conscious based and whatnot. So if you were able to look at something through the lens of, you know, a scientist, you're really observing it at a more deeper, more intense, detailed level than just looking at something on the surface and be like, yeah, I see it. But with the
Right.
science, you not only do you see it, but you completely understand the workings of it, right? You understand the makeup of it. It's almost as if you're piercing beyond the skin or beyond the surface and going deeper in it. But truly, either spirituality or science could only give you those lenses. Somebody in the chat said that science is spirituality. I do agree to a degree, right? But
Mhm.
when I think about it, it's been people that are considered the metaphysicians and some of the diviners or the seers who are able to completely really break shit down for me and let me see the quantum side of things. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
Right. So, you know, when I'm in YouTube University or I'm tapped into some of these high science, these NASA scientists or some of these you know, quantum physicians and whatnot, it's them and then it's the master teachers, but the master teachers are speaking in that tongue. They're speaking, they have the same vernacular. Dr.
Mhm.
Delbert Blair, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, they had the vernacular. Even Dr. Sabi, when speaking about health and wellness, when he went into his scientific bag and would
Mhm.
break down what the vegetables and the fruits were
Right.
composed of, when he would
Right.
speak about the electric food aspect of it, that's when he pierced the surface and went
Mhm.
into that shit. So now we're looking at the food, but the observation of the food, we're collapsing those particles because we're like, nah, that's a hybrid. That's not electric. That ain't
Right.
gonna work for me. But now
Right.
that we see the soursop, the sea moss, some of these other things that we could prove scientifically and spiritually its power. Now when we take it in, it's as if we're taking in that power. So yeah, that is dope that you're allowing people to see through some very powerful goggles and whatnot.
Yeah, and just to add on really, really quick, of course, that's why Europeans have switched up the language. So when we grow up, know that we're breathing in oxygen, we didn't have the fortitude back then to label things. Our ancestors didn't have a reference point. So everything was based on shape, which then ties into sacred geometry, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
So when we grow up believing that we're breathing in oxygen, then our mind, our imagination doesn't go any farther than us breathing in oxygen. But if we understood that the black body was a semiconductor, one, and then we understood that we were taking in electricity, two, then what does electricity do to a semiconductor? You see, somebody Google that. Like that, what that little piece right there will give you some insight to how then the mind, how further the mind will go once we understand certain language. So words have been switched around purposely so we can't set up the necessary tone to resonate with a specific information that's relative to us alone. You see, so
Totally understood. Totally understood. And I
Mhm.
would love to know that now that you brought that up, like, how do you feel, how does the concept of time fit into the reference of what we speak of prophecy? Like, how does the concept of time work with that?
I mean, time is everything because we've again been conditioned by a group of people who have moved out of cosmic time. So if we're not moving in cosmic time, then we can't see certain signs that it give us the signal to get in position, to receive information, to receive a prophecy. So we again don't know how to gauge our reality because we're not going on the right time. Time moves counterclockwise.
Right.
Centrifugal. Time is centripetal. So it's all about engaging in the right time, but you have to follow a specific sequence. And I'm gonna get more into this in the lecture September 15th. But real time follows the golden ratio. So those patterns that we always see in sunflowers and seashells, and that spiral is the geometry of time. So when you know how to apply wave mechanics to the number, the ratio 1.618, and know how to then move your clock counterclockwise in reference to how you demonstrate yourself in real time, then you're going down that spiral, and that'll give you the capacity to not only see reference points and to see how certain things that seem like they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum relate, but then you can also see how certain things, when they do take place, how they're all tied in together. So, again, that's
dope. Yeah, when you said that about the spiral, that made so much sense. Like I'm just thinking about it in such simplest terms. Like I have a garden out in the back, and when the vines grow, right? To me, that's if I didn't have a physical clock or anything, I would be looking at the growth of these spirals to basically be like, we're like 4 weeks in. You know what I mean? And as it keeps growing, we're 8 weeks in, we're 12 weeks in. Like I could leave and come back, and I could basically see the time is based off of the fact that these vines are growing. It's not that simple, but I was just able to see it like that.
You on point. I mean, that's gauging real time. Plants do what you call phyllotaxing. So they grow in that golden ratio just to make sure that every plant or every leaf on the stem gets an equal amount of rainwater and sunlight. So shareable wave. And like I said, that's the science that we're going to talk about on the 15th. But yes, everything, in reference to, prophecy and being a prophet, ties directly into time, because in order to be a prophet, you got to follow a certain symmetry in reference to time, know how to gauge certain events, and also add certain things that are going to happen before they do. So,
you have to be, because there's some people that I know that they're completely out of time, and there's no, it is what it is, and it's like it takes away from their ability to prophesize because they think that they're in the 18th dynasty. So it's like they're not in time. So their prophecies don't always hit because they're not even able to forecast because they're stuck in the past. I'm like, fam, somebody dropped you niggas off and did you dirty because you're not up to date, bro.
Well, yeah, I mean, perfect example. They still got retros coming out that came out 20 years ago.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy for them.
And niggas still going crazy about it. But that's what keeps us in a box. That's what keeps us on a certain loop. Niggas watch the same episode, season every year, the same, you know. So
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, we continue.
Right. You're not breaking the monotony.
Right. The
monotony. You feel me?
And
people are going through the looper. It's looper. People are going through Groundhog Day. Their time is looping. Motherfuckers is waking up the same time at 12 p.m. You feel me? With the same spittle on the fucking pillow, you know, and living out the same reality every single day. Nothing is changing. That's why I said break the monotony and wake up at 4:30 in your whole entire day. Because the body already has, it wakes you up on your body has an original alarm clock. I can't speak for everybody, but I know that my body wakes me up at the exact time that I'm supposed to be up. I might wake up 4 times later. You know how you hit the snooze button? I might be like, nah, I ain't ready yet. I'm still dreaming. I'm still in the dream world. I'm still with the Sandman and whatnot. But the body originally knows it. You know, you might wake up and go to the bathroom. You might wake up because you sleep light. Then nigga, that was your time to get up. That was your time. Your body was telling you it's the time to receive your rewards right now while the sun is not even up. But we're not programmed to listen to our body and be like our original Arcadian, our alarm clock is built within farmer time. Right. They call it farmer time.
Yeah. And just let me just add this piece really quick. Again, we're talking about redundancy and being off the real time. When we do things through repetition, but the same redundant things every day, that locks our system down by way of the codon. So the Mayans were speaking about the 64 I King tied to a galactic blueprint. You know, and when the sun delivers information, those codons, the sequence of them begin to switch off or switch up or switch just in general. Right. So when you live in a state of redundancy and you do the same thing every day, that locks the codons down to a certain sequence. So when you then demonstrate a different behavior on a certain day and do something different, that begins to communicate to the codons and the sequence begins to switch. And those codons is the genetic language that speak directly to the DNA to teach the DNA to create a different or you know, another helix, which is more access to information. So again, the idea is to break out of the box and you know, begin to move on real time. But we'll speak on that September 15th and really get into the science of that.
Dope. Real quick before we even continue, family, the website is www.ktl university.com. I'm going to play this commercial real quick for this upcoming lecture. While I'm playing this commercial, y'all go ahead by show of hands or show of emojis who is going to be in class with us at KTL University. This is exactly 7 days from now. 7 days. I don't like saying the word week anymore. 7 days from this Thursday. Next Thursday is going to be the 15th at the hours of 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're not able to make it, no worries. It will be recorded and we will have it for your viewership forever in perpetuity. As long as you're a ticket holder, don't fret. Don't worry. It'll be uploaded the next day. You dig what I'm saying? Here's a commercial that we put together for our upcoming lecture.
I can safely say the September 5th event is one of the largest, if not the very largest, solar energetic particle SCP storms that we have ever seen so far since solar orbiter launched in 2020.
There has been such a dynamic change in the sunspots. There is going to be very dynamic change in the sunspots in the coming 6 years. So whenever such changes happen in the sun or in the pattern of the way the sun functions, always it has been found phenomenal changes happen in human consciousness.
Captured in Pakistan this week shows flooding so severe the only way out for some is by air. Others have turned to more creative solutions like this rescue operation using a bed frame tied to a zip line. Earlier this summer, Yellowstone National Park was ravaged by floodwater. In Europe, the continent has experienced record-breaking heat, killing thousands. In China, the world's third longest river is drying up, revealing ancient statues. That's in addition to wildfires, which in California are now burning year-round.
Yes, sir. There you have it, y'all. KTL University for the tickets. All right. I promise you, I think we have a bundle deal as well. We bundle in all 3 classes that we did before, and we putting that inside of this. So if you didn't see our previous demonstration, so you see this brother was on point all the way back in like May, all the way back in April. He was hitting 3-pointers from the motherfucking midcourt and whatnot. You'll see the magic of the prophets. That's what we're talking about. The power of the scientific mind and whatnot on display in real time. That's what the brother is giving you. You feel me? That's what he's giving you. He's not giving you speculation. He's not giving you, where you gotta like a nigga to believe the information that he's giving out. You don't have no proof of nothing that he's saying. You just gotta like his personality. That's not how we working over here. I don't feel like that is responsible in 2022. That's actually building up the cult of personality worship, and we see how that shit works out. So no offense to the scholars that shoot from the hip with no receipts and whatnot, but we just gonna have to take the stance that we got the motherfucking receipts and we different than them. Okay. So with that being said, I just want to know from you before we get out of here, from your observation, you have a very keen sense of observing things. Your observation skills are, respected and whatnot. I want to know what is something that's keeping us stagnant in the community from your perspective, from how you see it through your vantage point. What's keeping us stagnant? And when I say us, I speak of me as well. But what's keeping the community stagnant? I can't hear you, ALKEBULAN. Can't hear you.
All right, we good.
Yeah.
From my perspective, and you said it, basically, we get caught up into personality worship. We don't tend to see ourselves as individual leaders. So, we'll buy into a certain personality and take heed to everything this individual says and get comfortable and just retaining a certain level of information that they got, not knowing that we are our own teachers, we are our own leaders. It's the lack of originality. I feel like I said, everybody is, kind of doing, and not everybody, not let me watch my words. Not everybody, but you got, a lot of people, in the conscious community, demonstrating similar things. But, like we were speaking about earlier, it's about being innovative. It's about taking a risk, doing something different. We have a lot of people in the same field who are good at what they do, astrologers, readers, things of that nature. But at the same time, you know, it's really about pushing the needle further and carving your own space, you know, within the universe. You know, so we all come up a certain way. We all follow certain teachers. We all, you know, have our, you know, ones that we really, you know, tap into and listen to. But at the end of the day, like, we got to look at ourselves as our own teachers. You know, I would even challenge, you know, individuals who aren't even comfortable with teaching, because like I said, I'm speaking from personal experience. I had to go on the platforms and demonstrate myself, even though, you know, I'm more, you know, in the cut with it. Like, I'm more in the, you know, in the background. I had to begin to, you know, discern a certain level of information in the public eye, you know, in order for me to get past that comfort zone. But, you know, a lot of us are getting comfortable again and just buying into certain personalities and being okay with that. But we got to start demonstrating ourselves as leaders, you know, and begin to work from that format. So, you know, like I said, the stagnation for me, in reference to the community, really stems from just a lack, you know, of originality.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Ganja, I'm gonna borrow this, my brother or my sister. I gotta borrow that, yo. Give me permission, and I'm running with it. You know, I'm talking about, if you don't give me permission, I won't. But conscious creators instead of content creators, yeah, I'm running with that. I need that right there.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
a
what I'm talking about? Because
bar.
that's exactly what I'm doing as the red pill. I feel like I'm a conscious creator. I like that. That shit resonated with me. But I agree totally what you said, right? Here go Ganja saying it in public, right? So we don't have to trip out. Niggas be like, you biting. No, thank you, Ganja. I appreciate you, Ganja Daddy.
Yeah,
You
go.
know, that was slick right there.
Yeah,
Conscious creator.
conscious creator. Yeah.
I agree with you, ALKEBULAN. You know, the lack of you know, it goes a little bit deeper from my vantage point. I would say that the deregulation, or you know, the lack of structure that doesn't exist, that may have existed prior, but the eroding of certain type of structural ordinances, it gave rise to the lame duck consciousness, where people don't have action attached to their resumes anymore. You know, faith without action is dead. So this shit is dead because there's not a lot of action. People will sit around and consume information and won't do anything, right? Even Ganja he called it out. Lack of action in the immediate surroundings by the people giving likes and hearts and consuming content, right? And that's no offense to the people that are on this show, but that's definitely how that shit goes. They'll watch these shows, they won't support, they won't hit the Cash App, they won't buy the tickets, they won't do anything to show any kind of sign that they agree with the information other than hit the like. They won't even hit the like button, but that's as far as some people are willing to take it. So when it boils down to it, you know, because there's a mentality in this community to whereas people, the lack of support comes from people either, you know, feeling like they're not obliged to do it, or feeling like, you know, wherever they came from, that's not how it went down. So why I gotta go down here and whatnot. And, you know, there's this whole thing about, you know, we on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? This shit is, I'm just consuming. And it's like, we understand that only 2% actually participate out of the, what's this, 298? There's only going to be 2% that will participate, right? So until we could turn those numbers into at least 22%, or, you know, I have the audacity to say 50%, then, you know, we're always going to be in a situation where these children are going to be getting, you know, they're going to continue to go through what they're going through. The system is going to continue to perpetuate what it's perpetuating, because the system even knows you niggas don't even have it together to destroy us. You know, the only way that you could destroy us is if y'all were to come together and work together as an ant, like how ants come together or bees come together. That would be the only way possible that y'all could even put a dent in the system. The individual or the neo, unless it's really a neo amongst us, they can't do it. You know, they can't go inside of the matrix and collapse it. There hasn't been one in this community that I've seen that there's one individual that can be seen as a neo that didn't need nobody's help, nobody's assistance. You feel me? They didn't stand with anybody. They didn't stand on no platforms. They wasn't connected to nothing. They just did what, no, I have not seen a Christ-like figure or a Jesus type walk through the halls of this motherfucking, this community and collapse the pillars of this matrix on their own. It's a group effort.
Right. It's a group
effort. It's a collective group effort. And if to say that we are at war, right? To say that we're at war, but we're not functioning as warriors, or to say that we're at war, but the collective are not functioning as an armed services, or they're not functioning as an army, right? Because dudes be having the audacity to be like, well, when we get wealth, how are we gonna protect it? I'm like, great fucking question, because y'all not even moving like an army right now. You know what I'm talking about? So how the fuck do you think that you're gonna move like one when the shit goes down? You're not even moving like I'm my brother's keeper right now. You're not moving like generals and lieutenants right now. You're not moving like you respect authority or you play your part in your position in your lane right now. So that's a great fucking question. I guess you niggas are doomed for destruction. Because ultimately what it comes down to is discipline, and it comes down to commitment, right? And it really comes down to, you know, following the motherfucking orders, because there's nobody is bigger than the purpose, but we all have a part to play.
Right. And just, yeah, really quick, just to go off of that, I mean, the lack of courage. We're not waking up doing what our heart is desiring us for, you know, we're not waking up doing, you know, what we love to do on the daily basis. You know,
Right.
we're not
Look
up and attempting to follow our passion. We're lacking the audacity to take that day off of work and decide to, you know, put, you know, 100% into building that business, you know, and a lot of that, you know, is a reason of the stagnation. You know, when you begin to, of course, follow what you love doing, you know, the universe is going to conspire in your favor. So, you know, the universe is also going to synchronize experiences relative to you following your purpose around you, so that you build a structure, so that way, you know, organization will then follow, you know, a team will then follow,
right.
You know, that nature. So it's all about starting with you as an individual and doing what you know you were put here to do. And that's directly to the universe, the cosmos, because that's what keeps the balance of the cosmos at a place, you know, of homeostasis. You know, we begin to fall off track and not do what we are put here to do. You know, there's an imbalance. So there's then what follows is infighting, and then, you know, jealousy and envy, because we focus on ourselves. We're then focused on what everybody else got going on. So, you know, just having
that's one of the reasons. Yeah, one of the reasons why me and Blue brought the Royal Chamber to life, right? Which is a high vibrational social lounge that's located in Buckhead, and we operate in the daytime. This is not like a 3 a.m. 4, you know, 7. I'm not trying to. I'm not 20 years old. I don't want to even be out my house 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. if I'm not creating and shit like that. If I ain't in the studio, I don't got no business to be standing on the fucking couches at 3 a.m. in my 40s. You know what I'm talking about? I take naps and shit. So I need to be home by midnight before I turn into a pumpkin. But 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. And what does that entail? Well, a social club is an option that we didn't have as a community before, because like ALKEBULAN just said, when I wake up every day, if I don't have purpose, then I'm just existing in limbo. If I don't wake up with somewhere to go, if I don't wake up and I know that I could go somewhere and network with my brothers and sisters, I'm gonna get depressed, because I need to have social interaction. That's just me. I became like more of a withdrawn person. Like I became a hermit in the last 2 years, to where I don't want to go around people. I don't even want to be out the house. I got, you know, I'm just really into the baby and raising my son. But it's like we all, you know, I do know what my soul needs, because it took me going to these festivals and whatnot to really replenish the battery, and to like center myself and be like, nah, I need my people. I need to be amongst my tribe. I don't know what these niggas be talking about. Like, I need tribe. Like I need to see the people smiling. I need to just take the temperature. Like I need to see the children playing just to know the shit is gonna be all right. Versus what my intuition may be telling me that it ain't gonna be all right. So yes, brother, I totally agree with you. We have a duty, right? And as the twin pillars, as me and Blue, once again, putting this shit on our backs, right? I'm like, yo, we need a social club. We need somewhere to link up because in Atlanta, where the fuck do you link up at? Tassili's? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tassili's. That's a food eatery. And they took the chairs out. You can't sit in there and eat. You're going to go to Wadada's and hang out? No. We need a social club. We need somewhere to socialize. We need a fucking marketplace in Atlanta. How about that? Shout out to the new Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? We need a marketplace. The same way that Harlem had 125th Street, where small businesses were exchanging commerce every day. That's what we need, because we need our networks to begin to barter with each other and to build with each other. We need to bring some of our creatives out. We need to create experiences, and we need to build these brands up. So that's very important, and that's one of my mission statements. And if it doesn't happen in Atlanta, it's going to happen somewhere else. I'll know by the end of this calendar year what it's gonna be. But that's why we are linking up on the mountain, so we could bring brothers and sisters from around the world to come together, because this mountain experience changed lives. And I don't put people's information out there on blast. I'm not one of them niggas that want to put all of my DMs on display and whatnot. But I got 2 DMs from 2 adults. No, 1 adult and somebody that was considered to be 18 years old. So that's a young adult. Both of them said that they were suicidal, right? Both of them were thinking about taking their lives. Both of them were saying that they hated here until they found out about the Stone Mountain sacred ceremony, charging your crystal. And we went up there in June. They said based off of the community that they saw, based off of the love that people were giving them, because we had people giving each other hugs at the end of our yoga demonstration. Everybody was out giving hugs and sharing love. They told me 2 different people that don't know each other said that saved their lives, right? They were about to become the ancestors without properly even, fulfilling their purpose here. You feel me? I'm sure that their purpose wasn't fulfilled if they decided to take themselves out before this shit really kicked off and whatnot. They wouldn't have seen the queen die. So once again, we back on 9/11, the holiday, the Ethiopian New Year's, my holiday for my red pill moment. That shit woke me the fuck up 22 years ago, smacked me out of my sleep. No, 21 years ago. That was a catalyst for consciousness, right? And the biggest spell on the hearts and the minds of the people were casted that day, and it's still on us. It's just been compiled with shit like Katrina and a whole bunch of other calamities, to where people are so far gone underneath this spell, they don't even know when this shit really started. But it was 9/11, if you want to be reminded. Okay? That was a fucking that was a catalyst. That was an end time sequence. And we are here to break some of those spells and shake it off. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna be loud. We're gonna be motherfucking. We're gonna be proud. We're gonna bang on some drums. We're gonna talk our talk, and we're gonna be in our bag that day. So if y'all gonna pull up, it's free of charge. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that we want y'all to bring is your higher self with you, and that's it. And we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. The whole strong end, or what they call the weekend, is popping real quick. Tassili's starting tomorrow, right? I'll be there. Blue will be there. I'll be vending. I'll have the 120, the Mark 125th, right? Where is that at? Yeah, here it goes. Right there in the West End. What is your love language? That's the theme this year, the Natural Mystic Fair. It starts Friday, 4 p.m., right? September the 9th, Saturday at 1 and Sunday at 1. Please be there. It's in the back. It's free. There's a lot of vendors. It's a raw reality. It's going to be all raw food vendors. and people with all kind of jewelry, clothing, all kind of stuff, artwork, you name it, right? Then the same time that day, right, in the hours of not late night, but the hours of 3 p.m. to 12 a.m., we're also going to have the Royal Chamber grand opening and whatnot. Be there, pull up, right? Infused mocktails, non-alcoholic, but you're still going to get lit. CBD hookahs, 420 friendly, vegan cuisine, right? And then the next on Sunday in the rising and whatnot, 7 a.m., we're going to charge up on Stone Mountain. It's going to be hundreds of us. Come and meet your motherfucking tribe. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, let's take it from there. That part. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all of this because it's time for it to be done. And, you know, we are obeying you know, we just obeying spirit, man. And we walking in that, we walking with that. We just walking in faith right now. We're walking in faith. And we're going to open up doors and we're going to, you know, Pope Pablo going to talk his shit because, man, a lot of things have happened since our first time on that mountain. A lot of things have fallen when in Rome. So if you have anything that you want to leave them with, you could do that right now because we about to sign off.
Yeah, you know, again, lecture September 15th. We really taking it there. You know, my whole goal, you know, is to, you know, deliver, you know, more of the science to allow our people to really take advantage, you know, of certain energies and utilize them, you know, in real time. You know, I want us to really feel like we're those ancestors, you know, that are still here, that were back then building pyramids and, you know, things of that nature. You know, the full-time demonstration that Red and Blue, you know, is having on the Crystal in Atlanta. That's real-time demonstration. So that's really going to shift a paradigm just based on the electromagnetic flux in those environments. And those many melanated people on that crystal is going to create an effect within the cosmos. So, you know, real life demonstrations is what we're all about. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
You know, again, this lecture is really going to give you the science, the techniques, you know, in order to manipulate the ethers, you know, so that way we can do and be the people that we deem ourselves to be, you know, on a daily basis. So, you know, September 15th, we dropping it in with the information. You know, September 19th, you know, we got the God Body Challenge.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all in alignment, family. You know, we're laying out the blueprint for you guys. And you know, we just expect you guys to do the due diligence and the work, you know, because we're working on cosmic time. So, you know, be in the building September 15th. You know, who are in Atlanta, you know, tap in September 11th. You know, and like I said, just continue to follow in sequence and we'll lay it out for you, you know. So that's it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You already know. You already know what it is. Real quick, y'all. This show right here has been sponsored by the Mark 125th. All right. This has been sponsored by the Mark 125th. We got that Cosmic Drippington. All right. So go over there and check that out. Come and support the people who support your cosmic wardrobe. You know what I'm talking about? We try and make you, you know, we here to make you something that you might, you know, you might need to tap in. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna find this shit in your hood. You're not gonna find this at Foot Locker. You're not gonna find this in a sneaker mall. You feel me? You're not gonna find us in you know, in the Arab store and shit like that. We got that drip. So, you know, we're here to put the, you know, the emperor has no clothes, but that's not talking about you. You know what I mean? We wanna clothe you and cloak you in that drip. And of course, we also have the KTL University, like the brother was saying. If you go over there, you will scroll down and you will see the flyer right there, receipts with a sweet technique. And as you click on it, that will take you to go ahead and get your receipt, your ticket for the class directly 7 days from now. In this class, we will present the prophetic revelations delivered by ALKEBULAN44 pre-summer solstice. The cosmic downloads that came via the solar flares will be discussed. Getting in alignment with nature requires that we understand science. Fall and winter are here, so prepare for what's going to play out. The technique is scientific, but don't sweat it because victory is sweet. Class is in session. You know what I'm talking about? And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for their time and their patience on today's show. And yeah, the queen is dead. The only queen that we acknowledge is Latifah, by the way, and Queen Diambi from the Congo. I met a real queen when I went to United Kingdoms, and she brought us to the parliament. Me, Blue Pill, 19 Keys, our elder, Infudishi, and a few others. Like real time, real shit, real queen. And they was, you know, the parliament and all of them people was paying homage to her. You feel me? Of the Congo. And we were supposed to really do some big things with her before they locked the world down. But she is, you know, those are the ones that we acknowledge.
We acknowledge.
You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about this old lady that kicked the can, but that's y'all queen. And we'll, you know, she's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, that part, you know what I mean? And we smoking on that pack tonight, that OG motherfucking queen pack. You know what I'm saying? Give me some leaves, my nigga. I'm putting this in some backwood with some grabber. You know what I mean? We not playing. You know what I'm saying? For the memory of all of the indigenous, for the memory of all of those indigenous children that she ate that day when she took them to lunch and whatnot, to the memory of all of the Africans and the Jamaicans and all of the people who they pillaged and whatnot. Fire bun. You know what I'm talking about? Fire bun that whole fucking empire and everybody that's riding with them. All you niggas is going down. How about that? So with that being said, you know, I'm going to end this with the Facts Initiative, the Facts theme song. Donate to the Facts Initiative. This initiative is coming to a city near you. We are solution-based, food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter. Talk black to me, huh?
Facts.
Okay, the food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts. We in your city, pull up what we at.
Facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is pop.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. We in your city, pull up what we had.
Started in Richmond, art in my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father the isfits, martyr the misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres or acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, okay.
Ooh.